Audio Jungle.
It's a beautiful morning on Vice in the South Eastern on Faith TV, of course. You know we are here to dish out what we have right here on these two journals. Urban News 10, still keeping it real with you people, viewers across the globe. Okay, this day newspaper with a very good major headline here. It reads, "Will of the people shall prevail in Edo, INEC assures critics." Will of the people shall prevail in Edo State, INEC assures critics. Quickly to the writer of the paper. Suspends use of ZPAD for accreditation. Abdulsalami Kuka to superintend peace accord today. IG, that's the Inspector General of Police, deploys 31,000 policemen to monitor election. US issues visa ban on Bayelsa Kogi ballot riggers. On to the next one, which is still on the front page of this journal. We have government kill 2 FRSC personnel, abduct 10 others in Nasarawa. Okay, quickly to another story. The major headline on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper: Nigerians suffering on all fronts. Take action now. On Nayekon, Jega, Agwai, others are saying this on the front page of this journal. PDP urges Buhari to resign. If you can see the if right on the page of this paper, that's page 5. If that's what PDP is saying here. APC keeps mum. We have a listening president, says Femi Adeshina. We have a listening president, says Femi Adeshina. On top of the paper, COVID-19. We are waiting for MPAN to make submissions of palliatives, says federal government. President Buhari focused on nation building and unity of Nigeria by additional. TUC petitions Buhari issues 7-day ultimatum. That's on petrol, electricity, tariff hikes. TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, petitions Buhari issues 7-day ultimatum. All right. Nigeria's third place in global terrorism ranking. Disappointing, embarrassing, says APC group. Nigeria's third place in global terrorism ranking. Disappointing and embarrassing, says APC group. Resumption. Vice Chancellor. Students locked out as ASU. SSANU protests at LASU. US slams visa ban on election riggers in Nigeria. And we still have IGP deploying 31,000 riots act to politicians. He deployed 31,000 police personnel. Riot act to politicians. Quickly, let's join our reviewers for more analysis on these stories. I'll be right back. Talking about this same issue, you have Onayekon Jega, that's the former INEC chairman, saying that let the will of the people prevail. Now, do you see the will of the people prevailing in this election? Of course, we've been having serious kind of issues surrounding the September 19 poll in that state. Togri, buying of permanent voters card and others. Now, do you see a free, fair and credible election taking place in Edo State?
Good morning, Mr. Mike. I'm Matthew. It is very difficult to accept that the will of the people will prevail. Because looking at all the indices that determine free, fair and credible election, and looking at all the elections we have had, looking at the elections that have been midwifed, looking at elections that have been superintended over by this current chairman of INEC, I do not believe INEC when they say the will of the people will prevail. And if actually they want us to start believing them going forward, they should redeem their image. I'm saying this because in the past, even as we conduct obstacle elections, we have seen cases where they deploy even police personnel more than what they are deploying in this Edo election. We have seen elections that have been adjudged to lack, not to have meet substantial compliance to all the extant laws. And we have seen such cases go all the through process of legal litigation, and it comes out to still favour the candidate that is declared by INEC. So be that as it may, I think all the government agencies, all the government institutions that have responsibility in making the election credible should be up to their responsibilities, particularly the police. The area of nipping crime in the bud, they should swing into action and make sure they avert any violence. To EFCC, the vote buying, I think they have a responsibility here. They should make sure they checkmate vote buying. To the DSS, they should make sure they do enough intelligence gathering to mitigate any crisis and violence. To the military, though they do not have direct role to play in this election, I think all the flag points where people can gain access into the state from other states, I think it should be well and adequately policed. But having said all this, INEC owes it a responsibility to conduct a free and fair election, because by our standard, INEC is an independent umpire, so they should live up to that name. Because I have not seen any reason INEC is not giving us credible election. The best they could do, if political talks are overwhelming you, the best you could do in a polling unit, in a voting center, in a ward, in a local government, is you suspend that election, or rather you reject that result if it doesn't meet substantial compliance to electoral laws. But what we see is that INEC personnel themselves often conspire with political talks, political personalities to undermine the system. It's not as if we do not have good laws to check election rigging, ballot stuffing, vote buying, and all that. We have all these things in place, but the problem is that we have a compromised institution that is like INEC, and Nigerians who work as INEC personnel, most of them compromise their responsibilities, and until people start paying price for their negligence, for dereliction of duty, we cannot check this obnoxious trend. It is high time INEC or the police, the DSS, the EFCC should start holding people responsible for their negligence, so that if you are an INEC personnel, you compromise your responsibility, you should be made to answer for it.
Now, Matthew, we have the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, deploying about 31,000 security personnel in that state. Do you think this will mitigate the disruption of election in that state?
I doubt. This is not the first time we are seeing such deployment, and they have never helped such situation. I think what we need is rather a dedicated police personnel, not the number.
Not the number.
Yes, I will tell you this. On election day, what political parties do is, they are budgeting the money for election, they make provision for security personnel to compromise their responsibilities. As they go about giving money to their delegates, to their representatives at the polling booths, polling units, they grab provision for police, for DSS, even for election observers. So a policeman who have collected money a policeman who is in a polling booth, who have accepted money that is not receipted, what is that money, what is it for, if not to compromise his responsibility? So what I think is, the police should make sure, I think we are in an era of technology. By now, we ought to see a policing system that is driven by technology. A situation where If you send a policeman to man a polling unit, let that policeman be on a camera that is monitored from a remote site, so that anything he does, he can be seen from a remote site.
Now, away from that, we have Nigeria coming third at the global terrorism ranking, and we have this man. Sorry for using that statement. We have Femi Adeshina saying that the president has a listening ear. Now, if the president has listening ears, don't you think certain things should be done, or certain solutions should have been preferred or provided in terms of insecurity in the country?
I do not believe that Mr. President has a listening ear. Or otherwise, I may be wrong. If you do have a listening ear, it means his handlers are the ones misleading Nigerians. So it's either the president do not have a listening ear, or his handlers are the one misleading Nigerians. When it comes to issue of terrorism, any responsible leader, any responsible president will make sure he ends terrorism, because terrorism does not know tribe, it does not know religion, it does not know gender. It is an evil wind that blows no one good.
How is it there? Yeah, fine. Now, let's quickly go to the statement made by Femi Adeshina, saying that the president has listening ears. Of course, I don't think some Nigerians or most Nigerians will succumb to what Adeshina said.
Okay. Of course, Femi Adeshina is a paid, is a hired worker per se. So he will do whatever he can to retain his job. You see, if he eventually lost the job, such juicy job, he may not find one so juicy as being the heir to the president. So I think he's just trying to keep his job and nothing more of that. So to somebody who has a sane mind shouldn't make such assertion. Under this present condition, you find yourself within the contraction called Nigeria. He has listening ears, but perhaps his faculty is not working. There is difference between listening and understanding. You may be understanding. You may be listening to me, but you don't understand me. So what Nigerians need is not a listening president. What Nigerians need is somebody who empathizes, who puts his or herself in the shoe of the teeming masses of this nation. That is what we need. Somebody who has human feelings. You might listen, and at the end of the day, you feel to remain adamant. You remain unmoved without any sense of compassion towards the masses, towards the so-called citizens, if you really have them at heart. So for me, that doesn't make sense that you have a listening president who denies, who is not in time with the reality. Look at what the Minister of Finance, the President and the Minister of Finance disagrees on the hike of food, on the prices of food. The President is saying that he's claiming that everything is normal. And his own minister is in loggerhead with him, saying no, he have confirmed that the prices of food has increased exponentially. Is it the president that has a listening ear, but it's not in terms with reality? He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what is the state of the nation. No wonder the nation has been thrown in disarray. We don't need a listening president. We need a president whose faculty is functional, whose ability to reason is still within acceptable IQ. So that is what we need. We not need a listening president who perhaps cannot coordinate or articulate and be able to reconcile his position.
Now quickly to Edo State. We have some days to go. Izeyam versus Obaseki. There have been calls for peace. There have been calls for peaceful election in that state. What's your home call?
Yes, as we still maintain this constitution called Nigeria, I think Edo people has the mandate to choose whosoever that controls the radar of leadership or yes, of governorship in that state. Meanwhile, they should prioritize their destiny, their future, and the future of the Edo children, and every resident of Edo people should be paramount. As of course, the Oba has said that he wouldn't tolerate, of course, anything that would jeopardize peace or disrupt public peace within his domain. And I think every lover of peace within Edo will also take that part. So for those who, of course, have prepared to suck blood, they should be warned. And everyone should be held accountable. For me, I have no confidence in the Nigerian security system because these are some people that will perpetuate violence. When they are paid by the tax master, they can kill. And look at my brother was saying, Matthew was saying, by then Nigerian police would have been technological driven. These are people that will not allow you to take a shot in polling units. If they eventually see you, they, in the past election, even in Lagos State, one person threatened to shoot me because you are trying to cover some scene, some happenings. They will not allow you to do that. Is it the country that you should die for? So for me, we are expecting the worst. Of course, INEC has prepared for the worst. He said they have installed his ad hoc staffs. They have installed them by what amount? So how does it doesn't pay to die for such country that has no interest of her citizens or anybody working for the government. So that is my stake.
So cute.
Thank you.
Looking fresh.
No, even though no matter the persecution of Muhammadu Buhari cannot kill us all. They can kill few, but we will still live to fight for the masses.
Now, Sunday, about 31,000 security personnel have been deployed to that state. I'm talking about Edo State. Now, what should be the major priority of the security operatives in that state?
Because one issue we have in Nigeria, forget about security. I always say that Nigerian security are not fighting for the masses, they are fighting for the leader that sent them there. Because security may make a vow to make the election to be free and fair. Because it happened in Kano State, it happened in Kogi State, it happened in Osun State, that the security agencies are the one oppressing the masses, the voters. They oppress them and many people are afraid to vote. And they use it to manipulate and put who they want. So, issue of security in Nigeria is not assured. I did not say whether nothing is assured for now for security issue, because security level is only government, that is only the federal level that can control them, because they don't care the masses they are protecting. They are only protecting the government. So if they come out to tell us that they have deployed adequate security in Edo State election, we hear it, but many things have happened. They want to deploy almost how many 5,000 security in Kano, in Osun State. What happened? You see the impress of the masses. Masses are afraid because security impress many people, make life uncomfortable for them. So they refuse to vote. So if that thing continues, the same thing that happened in those states I mentioned to you, it will still occur. There will not be free and fair election. But as the INEC assured us yesterday, for once, I want to say, let Nigeria electoral officials, let them conduct free and fair election. For once, let us know whether we are working on democracy or we are working in a military regime. Because what we are seeing, either in this military regime or in a democracy regime, we are seeing. I don't know, because the government we are working with, as I don't know what to call them. Are they military people? Are they civilian? I don't know. So let them do election for once. Let it be free and fair. Because I remember during 2019 election, Tinubu of Lagos State, the Jagaban, he make a statement and say, let Sanwo-Olu
and Ambode go for primary, say because election is a popularity contest, let the person that is more popular do what? Win. Let Nigeria, let INEC should allow election should be a popularity contest. Let the, yes, in Edo State, let who that person that is more popular, let them take the day. Let them not support anybody. Their own is to allow people to come out and do what? Vote. Because election is what? A popularity contest. That is what I have to say for that, for now. Thank you.
We have Femi here, the comedian himself, trying to keep it real on this platform. Good morning, Mr. Femi. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Now, let's move down to Edo State. Edo State, where the politics is seriously boiling. It's either Obaseki versus Oshomole or Izenyamu versus Obaseki.
It's very clear that the battle is between Obaseki and Oshiomole, not Izenyamu himself, because we can see the way Oshiomole carried this thing on top of his head. You see that kind of a situation, you know that this thing is more than that governorship. This man is fighting for relevance again, which when we talk of dogged fighter, give it to Oshiomole. I'm telling you, he's a dogged fighter. He's a very tough human being. He know how to fight his political way. He know how to fight his way in any time. Call Oshiomole for fighting is ready. It's battle ready. But I don't know this time around if PDP they are ready for the fight that Oshiomole will give them. And I've been saying it that look at it. It's very, very simple. Edo State is a PDP state. Agree. But you will ask yourself why APC has been governing them as governor. You can see the first time of Oshiomole, he took over by courts. He took over by through back door, through Justice Ayo's Alami syndrome. The same tsunami that wiped away Oyinlola and co. It started from Edo and it swept them, come to southwest here. So that's why when it comes to political genius, give it to Asiwaju. He was the one that started the storm from Edo, sweep them in Edo, sweep them in Ondo, sweep them in Ekiti, come to our Osun. You can see. So when you are fighting with this kind of force, you don't have to sit down in a particular place and think that you are going to win any election on the platter of gold in Edo. What they have been doing here since when Oshiomole win the first time through courts, second time he won it, you will ask yourself, why did Obaseki win? If truly Edo State PDP they are on ground in Edo, they are on ground, but the forces that is against them is bigger than them. That's what I'm trying to say. That during the general election, you will see that the presidential election, PDP will win in Edo. Because that is presidential, it's general election, everybody will concentrate on this. But when it comes to a single battle, a state single battle, you see that they always beat PDP there. And I will not be surprised if Izenyamu, I don't say that Izenyamu is the best candidate. Yeah, the best candidate. I've been saying it that they are all thief. Just choose one thief to be stealing your team. Maybe one has you know where I like Oshiomole with that kind of his wife that he married, that one self. When you dey look your governor, you dey look him first lady. Say this is our first lady. Just choose one. Just take style. Choose any thief you want.
Now, about 31,000 security officers have been deployed to that state. INEC also are getting ready. What should be the major watch of INEC and the security officers?
You know, security officers being deployed to a particular state when they are doing election, they are meant for two things: to protect and also to facilitate rigging. That's always yes, to protect and to facilitate rigging. Go to Osun State. In a particular state, when they deploy so much security, the highest bidder and the most powerful one usually carry the day. It started when Jonathan was there, when they wanted to win Ekiti State. We know how many soldiers that was deployed in that place. They were by fire, by force, they won it. So this thing is like a story that want to repeat itself. So in a situation where you see multiple police everywhere, is to protect and also to harass. We saw what happened in Osun State. that a particular when they do inconclusive, let me tell you, if APC is so desperate, there is nothing they cannot do. Have you ever heard inconclusive? It's part of their knockout blow. They give you like this, almost one blow, 7 die in inconclusive.
We have a president that has listening yes, says Femi Adeshina. Do you succumb to what they have said?
What did Femi say today?
President has listening yes.
Listening what? Listening waiting. Mo dẹ̀ ti máa ń bá bọ̀dá Fẹ́mi sọ̀rọ̀ o. Bọ̀dá Fẹ́mi, mo dẹ̀ ti máa ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ o. Kí ló dé? Ẹ má torí ń tẹ́ jẹ kẹ́ ẹ bá ń tẹ́ máa jẹ́jẹ́ eléyìí lásán. Ọkàn èmi rò pé máa ní brighter future. Listening yẹ èèyàn tẹ́tí ń dùn lẹ́ ló ní listening yẹ. Sọkúsọ nìyẹn o. Kò ní listening yẹ, kò sí pé kò ní listening yẹ nìkan. Apart from that one, he has no respect for Nigeria. He will just talk as if nothing will happen. This time around, that because Nigeria, maybe we have been wired to being a survivor. We can survive everything. It will be very, very interesting when you see Nigeria in hellfire. They enjoy it. You will see Nigeria that they will be sinking in hellfire because we have been used to it. If not, go to some advanced countries. They are having mental issue, the domestic violence. Go to our streets now. The beggar have increased. Why will you now say Buhari has listening? He has no respect. When he increased fuel price and he said we see expect more. No listening here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I've been saying before, for issue of security of this country, if we really love ourselves and we love our state and we love Nigeria, we the people in the authority should call a meeting state by state, call a meeting for issue of security and discuss and be talking and know what is the problem of this country concerning the security. If you look at the Lagos state, when Ambode was in governor, when the issue of problem happened to Ikorodu, Ambode rise immediately or arrest the matter. And then why other governor in the state by state, in the northern side, if they really love their country, their state, they should immediately go arrest the issue of security. Or if he cannot arrest the issue of security, if he is stronger than them, they should call other states. That is why I'm talking about issue of concerning to call the state by state for a meeting to discuss the condition of security concerning the state by state, so that I can sort it out, that can bring peace to that state. So that is the problem of this nation. If this nation really love themselves, love the Nigeria, love the state, wherever the problem come from, they will go and rescue that problem. That is my own.
Assurance given by the INEC officials that Edo election will be peaceful, credible, and well conducted. Now, do you see this happening, and do you hope for a peaceful election in that state?
INEC is a joker. This is a world of barbarians. This is how he promised us in 2019 that the election be peaceful, it be credible. In 2019, what we saw was vice versa. Then we sent this into fool Nigerians, to fool the whole world. But still, INEC is the one that will rig the election. They are saying credible. If INEC can be able to conduct free and fair election under the chairmanship of Yankubu, if they did in Edo or in Ondo, in this present two states now, Mr. Mike, the whole world, I'm telling you, it's a mistake of them, because they never do anything right. They were not concerned to do anything right. They are riggers. and they always rig on behalf of APC.
But now that they've promised, now that INEC has promised, should we hope for a peaceful election in that state? Should we take INEC by its words?
If I'm not taking INEC by its word personally, but if it do happen, as they said, I'm telling you, it's a mistake that they did. Because that's not the more they normally do. Unless maybe angels of the Lord may touch them overnight. Unless maybe Father Yahweh will turn their heart overnight to do the right thing, because they are not concerned to do the right thing. Since Jega left hand over to them, they have never considered a right election in Nigeria. Even local government owned. They always be a fraud. They always support fraud. That's what I'm saying. So on my own understanding, they are saying this to cajole the whole world, to cajole Nigerians, to cajole Edo people. But if Edo people will stand as Rivers stand with Wike, if Edo people will stand with Obaseki, I'm telling you honestly, whether they like it or not, the rightful candidate will win, which I'm sure that Obaseki Edo people will vote. Obaseki Edo people will vote. I'm quite sure of that.
Now away from Edo State, quickly
Yeah.
to the ranking of Nigeria in global terrorism ranking. We have Nigeria coming third. Don't you think this is embarrassing and disappointing?
If Nigeria we are ranked as a top position in global terrorism list, I think Nigeria has to be congratulated by being third. They're just supposed to be first. I'm telling you honestly, Nigeria is supposed to be first. All over the world, have you ever seen where terrorists enter farmland, killing people in the farm? All over the world. Nigeria did it. So putting them at the third position, I think the World Terrorism Monitoring Group, they made a very big mistake. Nigeria should be number one plus. Number one plus. Because what is happening in Nigeria never happened like in other countries like Afghanistan, other countries like Yemen, other countries like Iraq, other countries like Syria. Syria, they all enter civil war. Our own did not enter war. But if you want the clean in Nigeria here, you supposed to decline in Sudan. I mean Syria. Because Syria, you have this side fighting using gun. But this is only one side, empowered by the federal government of Nigeria.
Now that things are like this, what should the president do? Of course, Femi Adeshina has said that we have a listening president. What should the president do at this point?
We don't have a listening president. What we have is adamant presidency. Look at now, Obasanjo told the so-called Mr. President that Nigeria is falling apart in his own regime. The so-called president did not reply, known as Buhari, did not reply under the name of Buhari or under the name of president or president of president. Now, presidency and Arewa was the one that replied to Obasanjo. Do you have presidents? If presidency and Arewa are the one replying to Obasanjo, and the so-called president by name Buhari and the opposition president did not reply, keep him mum. Do you have president? You don't have president.
Thanks for watching us on today's edition of this program. Make sure you join us next time on the same platform. I remain Michael Adekule behind the camera. Festus Oluwabukumi. You can join us on our social media handles displayed on the screen. You can also meet me on Facebook, Michael Adekule. Have a good day, everyone.
Audio Jungle.